Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV here at the Mines and Money London show, resourcing tomorrow, and it's day number 3. And yeah, we are still fully awake and fully of optimism here because gold is at 2040 plus. That looks good, and it's the last day of the month, November, so it may be a breakout. So time to talk to a great gold developer and hopefully soon a producer. And we want to talk to George B., the president and CEO of US Gold Corp. George, good morning.
Good morning, Johan.
Great to see you again. Long time, but
lovely to see you too, and good to be in London with you.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. US Gold, I know the company really long time, and it looks like things are really coming now together. You guys had PEA, then pre-feasibility. Now you are finishing the feasibility study. What's the status?
Well, yeah, you know, we pivoted from being exploration, and we've got fantastic exploration assets. But at this moment, we're spending time on this CK Gold project, and this is a great opportunity because, you know, we essentially took this project from a standing start, and we're going to have a permit next year. There aren't too many permitted, shovel-ready projects in the United States or Canada, which are safe jurisdictions, ready to go to produce copper and gold. So that's the CK Gold project. We're very optimistic, as you say. We're ready with a permit, probably certainly in the first half of next year.
Oh, that's fast then.
And then the feasibility study. I've held off on finalizing the feasibility study so that we make sure that the numbers, the capital cost, are current in respect to the permit.
Yeah, and the inflation scenario.
Well,
maybe
that's good. I mean, we could have finalized we could have finalized all the capital cost numbers, but then people would have been saying, "Goodness, you know, inflation, costs go up. Where is your what are your numbers now?" So we don't want to do the work twice.
Okay, absolutely understood. You said gold and copper, so can you give us a bit, let's say numbers around it? I know the definitive is not out yet, but can you tell us a bit to get an idea how many ounces of gold, how many pounds or tons of copper you want to produce?
Absolutely. Well, look, the project was originally called Copper King. I mean, it was a copper discovery, but I call it CK Gold, CK for Copper King, gold, because 70% of our revenue comes from gold. And what we do is we will mine and crush and grind the material and produce a copper concentrate. That concentrate is a very nice concentrate with no deleterious elements, with about 20% copper, 50-60 grams per ton of gold. A very nice product, and this comes at a time in as we look at gold price rising and copper. Where are we going to get all our copper from? So that really is attractive in a southeast corner of Wyoming, creating jobs and revenue and royalty income for the state of Wyoming.
So, and how much copper would it be roughly? As you said, it's a concentrate, but what do you think comes out of that?
So look, initially we have in proven and probable reserves just over 1 million ounces of gold and 248 million pounds of copper. So for a copper mine, it's not a gigantic resource, but really at a time when copper is in great demand, it's serving that market.
Yeah, and especially it helps with the margin when copper goes to 5, 6, or 7
Absolutely.
per pound, right?
Well, I mean, we've seen that, of course.
And I think we are right in front of that,
right?
Because this world needs a lot more copper. Yeah, and the gold price is approaching the all-time high. So from that perspective, it looks good.
You know, as you look at them printing money like it's no tomorrow, I think that having that physical asset as a preservation of wealth. Gold is going to become more and more important.
Yeah, definitely. Do you see exploration upside for the future?
Of course.
Because I think you can maybe do an 8 to 10 year mine life at the beginning, something like that. Yeah, that would lead to 100,000 ounces plus the copper.
Well, so, as you see here, Johan, there was no point doing additional exploration. We know that we bottom out in mineralization. We have a mineral trend, which continues, additional anomalies in the area. But what we wanted to do was demonstrate that value proposition and then get a permit for what we know we have, and then we can spend our treasury on increasing the size of deposits. So the initial 10-year plan, in all likelihood, will increase. We know with a modest drilling program, there's another 500,000 at least gold equivalent ounces, but much more. And this is a copper gold porphyry deposit, and one of the experts recently said, look, these don't happen in isolation.
Great. I checked a little bit through your presentation, and I found it really interesting because you have, I think in the south, you have a neighbor called Martin Marietta. So Martin Marietta is a company to me, like, I think on missiles, weapons and stuff like this, but they are doing rock, meaning rock for to build roads and stuff like this.
Well, look, as we were looking around to build this project, we looked at look at where we can get the materials for building the project. So 3 miles to our south, there's a very large quarry, Granite Canyon Quarry, operated by Martin Marietta Minerals. So they're selling their rock for about $20 a ton. And we got to thinking, well, my goodness, why should we buy rock from them when we have rock ourselves? And so we went about testing that rock, and that will certainly mitigate the initial cost of our construction, because we use our own crush our own rock. And then there's an opportunity to sell that rock.
I just wanted to ask you,
well,
why wouldn't you do it by yourself?
That'll be a permit amendment, and we're very fortunate in the location of the CK Gold project, because we're just 20 miles from Cheyenne, which is growing. We're at the northern end of the Colorado Front Range, and there's lots of growth from Denver to Boulder to Loveland to Fort Collins. So there's a big demand for rock, and we've already mined the rock, paid for the mining. It provides a really good opportunity for the future. So while we've got a very robust copper gold project, there's potential to more than double our net present value with the rock sales.
Okay, so that means nice additional business.
Absolutely.
And almost, no cost, maybe not, but very low cost.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's interesting. Okay, how does it look with the infrastructure then? Because I think there was a railway line also in the south. Look, something is going on in the north also.
Absolutely. This is what attracted me to the project. I live in the next state, Utah, semi-retired, and look at the opportunity to work in Wyoming. We're situated just on the interstate road system, an hour and a half north of Denver, 4 hours to the south of Gillette, Wyoming, big mining area, and 6 hours from Salt Lake City. So we're on the road network where all the equipment suppliers are located. We have a rail network nearby. We have power. We've already arranged to buy water from the city of Cheyenne. So all the infrastructure's there. So, as opposed to some of the projects I've been involved with, where we had to build a man camp in a very remote area and build roads and power lines and generating stations.
You have that all.
Everything is there. So, that's why a lot of our capital cost is really low in comparison to other projects, and what makes a CK Gold project really spectacular.
Super. That leads to the question, the CapEx. I mean, it's not yet finalized, but can you give us, let's say, an approximately number?
Absolutely. Look, in December of 2021, we produced our pre-feasibility study, and at the time our capex was $222 million. So that's US, and that's in the public domain, so anybody can take a look at it. And we know that we can fast track this project. We're expecting a permit, so we went straight on into doing the feasibility study. So we're just going to update the quotations that we have on our equipment, for the build of the concentrator that we need, and we anticipate, and guiding people towards $250 million. There's been some inflation, but we'll have to wait for the final number when the feasibility study comes out. But it's not unreasonable. And at the same time, while that capex may have gone up, we may have seen a little bit of increase in operating cost, but so too has the revenue side of the equation. We used 1625 gold, US dollars again, and 325 copper. So as you say, with gold north of 2,040 an ounce and copper ascending in value, we preserve the margin, and it's a very robust project.
Absolutely, super. How do you intend to finance that? Could you imagine that you make, I don't know, a copper stream or copper forward sale and say, no, we concentrate on the gold more, or maybe with the rock?
All of those, as we move into 2024, we get eyes on the finish line of the permit approval. We also have our finalized feasibility study. We'll finish up that financing package. We're talking with some of the normal debt providers. We do hope that the equipment manufacturers will help. We're going to be buying their equipment. They have access to some sovereign wealth money to help their business. So we would look to maybe working with the equipment suppliers to help finance the construction of the plant. The state of Wyoming has a business development fund to help and promote investment activity. So we would hope to get some long-term lower interest rate notes from both the equipment suppliers and the state of Wyoming. I think that we're going to see a bump in the equity price as soon as we've got the permit and de-risked the project. So there's an equity component, and yes, you're dead right. There's certainly an opportunity to stream some of the initial production to help finance. So it's going to be a package that we will finalize during the course of the 2024.
Super, that looks really makeable, I would say.
All right, thank you. Yeah.
Fantastic. No, then, yeah, I look forward to when you get the permit. I think this is the master key piece you are missing, right? Because environmentally, that's all done, right?
It's all done, and we submitted our permit application last September. We've been working with the authority. We anticipate to complete the process next year. We're in the state of Wyoming. We're on state and private ground. So our regulatory agency is the state of Wyoming. Wyoming's a resource state. We don't have to deal with the federal government, who tend to take a little longer. So from that perspective, that's how we've been able to move this project along so quickly. So, stay tuned.
Absolutely. That's how we do it. George, thank you very much. All the best.
It's a pleasure, Jochen. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And
bye-bye.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was George B., the President and CEO of US Gold. And you heard it. Things have really accelerated. They are in the finalizing of the feasibility study. Then the permitting should be done within the first half of next year. That's also super fast, like 6-7 months from here maximum. And then really they are ready to rumble. And I would say between 250 and let's call it maybe 260 million US dollars for such a project is not that much. And I like the fact that we have gold on the one side, which is going to new all-time highs, hopefully the next months, but also the copper component. And don't forget, they did that at 1625 gold and at 325 copper. So those are really conservative numbers. And there's a lot of room for much more margin. And I think the rock, this is the jackpot joker. So check it out. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from London.